Welcome to the Future in 15 show. I'm co-host Matt Riley. The Future in 15 show is a series of 15-minute interviews with innovators and entrepreneurs from the events industry. Thanks for joining us. So Pete, thanks for joining us today.
Hey, no worries. Good to be here.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about your background and your company?
So I've had a bit of 18 years in this particular industry, and it all started when I decided to leave school and went straight into work and became an apprentice at a huge chemical factory. And what I learnt there was problem solving and lots of manual skills, so being on the tools, which end of the screwdriver to hold. And we had machinery that when it was stopped, it was an awful lot of money when it was idle. So you quickly learn your customer-facing skills and how to fix things quick. If it's not this, if it's that, if it's this, it must be this. And so that was kind of my early part. I moved into CAD. I got interested in computer-aided design, and that's really great skill in what I do. It enables me to articulate my ideas myself. I don't have to give it to a design draftsperson.
So that's for putting your designs
into
computer-aided
design. So AutoCAD we use, or visualizing. We used to use 3D Studio Max, and I used to train sales support. So again, learned lots of customer-facing skills. Also did some coding as well. I got interested in coding. And meanwhile, I was basically getting a bit of a thing for DJing at the time. And I think it's a common thread in our industry. If you dig around in people, you will find that a lot of people were DJing before they got into technical. And I loved DJing. It was a cool part of my life. But the interaction with people at those events can be sometimes unhelpful, as they didn't like your choice of music. And I wasn't David Guetta at the time, so I couldn't just go, well, get on with it. So I got really interested in the technical side of things, and started to get interested in lighting and sound, and get really acquire some skills in that area. It got such of a part of my life that I found someone else who did the things I didn't do, and we decided that actually, do you know what, it's time we started our own technical company. And much to my parents' disgust, I threw in what seemingly was a brilliant job and started my company Anagram on the kitchen table in '99. We powered on with this, and kind of got the thing going. And Hawthorn became interested in us, and we eventually joined with them in 2013 because they were looking for skills, project management skills, and creativity, and the kind of leadership that we were showing. And they had this great pool of kit that I wanted to get my hands on. Latterly, we've just been acquired by PSAV, so we're a one PSAV company. Although outwardly we still look like Hawthorn. What it means for you as customers, we're part of a $2 billion company. We have 9,000 staff worldwide, and wherever you go, whether it's Mexico, UAE, or somewhere in the UK or France or Germany, we have a point of contact. So there's continuity that we can offer you. In terms of Hawthorn, talking a little bit more about what we do, there's kind of 4 streams to our company. We do installs. So, if you're, for instance, like News International, we've recently put a TV studio in. People are very much wanting to create their own TV programs for social media like YouTube. So we've done quite a lot of those type of installs.
So it's not necessarily all just event projects?
No, we're all over, theatre. I'm going to talk about theatre. We do theatre touring. So if you've been and seen Matilda recently or Shrek, we do all the lighting for those particular theatre tours. We also have a touring arm. So, we're working with OMD, Stephen Wilson. And
so that's not you touring as a DJ like you?
No, I wish I was David Guetta, but no, sadly not. No, that's providing lighting and sound and rigging and packages for touring. If like I wish we were doing Ed Sheeran, but like for an Ed Sheeran concert, that type of thing. We have a sales arm, so if you just want to buy an audio desk, we can do that. We have a hire side to our business, which is some agencies already have some creatives or technical people, and they just want to hire a projector or they want to hire some sound. And that's good for my side of the business, which I'm going to come on to talk about, is because we always have the latest kit. If we didn't, we'd have nothing to hire everyone. Everyone always wants to hire the biggest, brightest projector, the best new light, the greatest sound desk. And so I'm involved in the create side of our business, which is what we're here to talk about today, which is the bit that is dream realization for all things technical. So agencies or clients come to us with a spark of an idea. It can be just a picture, or I've seen this, someone else has done this. Could you do this for me? Here's the amount of money I've got. Here's the amount of time we've got. And that's what I do. I realize that dream for them.
So what kind of things, so what are some of the more innovative projects that you've been working on lately?
We did the craziest thing just now. We made a slide. And
like a PowerPoint slide?
Yeah, well, no, not almost. We've made a physical slide. As a child, you've always been, you go to the playground and there's a slide, and you love a slide. Who doesn't love a slide? And it's ingrained in us, So we built this 11-meter long slide. The client said, hey, do you know what I want? I want this slide. I want it to be interactive. People need to be able to record their experience on the slide. They're going to land in this 60,000 ball pit at the end when they come off the end. And I want lights. I want these rings of lights that do stuff as people, it does all the classic things of ride me, like when you go to a fairground. The lights are doing come ride me, right? We had all these come ride me sequences. And people were actually walking the room and they were like, slide, and running across the room to jump on this slide, because it's an emotion. People want experience, don't they, and experiential things. And so it was a bit of a strange one, it was an interesting project because it has so many different facets, and we literally, researched a slide manufacturer, who constructed all the steel work. We made some innovative gates, so as the person got to the top, they typed their name in, and as they broke a gate at the top, it triggered the light sequence, so you got the lights going down, and it started recording on a camera, and then when they triggered another light gate at the bottom, it swapped to another camera, and then we made all the software that actually then teed all those videos together,
right,
overlaid all the message, the hashtag, whatever the client wanted, and then allowed you to socialize it. So you could then actually tweet or Instagram or, LinkedIn your video of your slide. And we had, in that sort of 3 hours it was open, 350 people did that thing, actually created, an experience, that slide.
And then shared that out to all of their networks.
Yeah.
And, wow.
We even had Ricky from the Kaiser Chiefs. They started a song and he was like, slide, do you think I could sing Modern World before you get to the slide? And he literally jumped off the stage, ran across the audience.
While they were performing?
Yeah, while they were doing the intro for Modern Way. Got to the top, not out of breath, I would be. And he literally slid down the slide singing Modern Way. And then someone socialised it as well. So, there's this really lovely, social media imprint that lives on.
Wow, that's definitely a moment.
Yeah, I mean, we do other cool things. People often see stuff. We had this waterfall idea, which you may have seen we did, where a client of ours had, as they do these days, they're on Pinterest, they're looking for some new idea, their client's going, right, we need a new idea, we can't just do something boring, it's got to be experiential, we want the guests to experience something they've never seen before. And he'd seen this projected waterfall that came down and flowed onto this Audi car. It was an Audi promotion. So, unbeknown to us, he went away, invented a bit more around this idea. He was going for like a giant bridge, there were going to be 4 people, there was a river and all sorts of stuff, and sold it to the client. The client was like, yeah, I want this. So they came to us and said, right, we've sold this idea, here's the budget we have. And we're like, oh, okay, interesting. So we looked at it, and it's quite complicated. Everything is generative, so we built this curve. Every pixel you see that makes up the waterfall, the actual flowing water, is generated in real time in a piece of software called Notch. And we then had these sticks, and there's a little thing called a stringer, a little light emitter that humans don't see. And we made these sticks so that when you got the stick, we can tell where the end of the stick was in 3D space. So as I wave it around, we can tell where the end is. And you literally could put the stick into the water, the virtual water, the projected water, and the water would part around your stick. So you could kind of do all patterns, all this kind of stuff.
Wow.
The things that I think we're good at is the customer had a finite budget, and because he'd elaborated the idea, we couldn't do what he wanted to start with.
Right.
So we actually removed the bridge, made it stepping stones, because the bridge was creating lots of shadow for the projection, and it was adding a load more projectors and a load more costs. So by kind of refining his idea, which is often what happens, you can't just go, boom, there's the idea, implement it.
Yeah, how do you manage those sort of client expectations when they come and maybe their ideas are sky high, but maybe the budget doesn't match, or how do you work that?
Well, I think that's exactly it. You've got to keep the essence of the idea, and that's one of our skills. You can keep the essence of the idea, but by changing some of the parameters, you can still keep his idea. So when we actually finished, we still had this beautiful waterfall. 2 people could put sticks into the waterfall, but they were walking on stepping stones. And of course, the client, the end user, the attendees don't know there could have been a bridge there. All they see is this beautiful stepping stones and the infinite cocktail drinks.
So part of it is keeping a focus on the attendee experience.
Yeah, absolutely. You want people to take that photo, don't you, and snap that picture and Instagram that, or Facebook it, or tweet it, because the social outreach is what everyone wants these days. They want people to go, you did that slide, and I've been to a lot of events lately. I was at one at the ICE Awards last week, and people were coming up and going, you did that slide. Where is that slide? I want to ride that slide. I'm like, well, it just lived for one day. That's what we do. We make a dream. And
it's the nature of events, right?
Yeah, right. Absolutely. They live for that one day, and I think it's a hard one, but, we're getting to that point. We can, it's a thing we're good at, is just twisting the idea slightly, to
knowing where to make those changes.
Yeah, and where to nip and tuck.
Sure.
And, building that relationship with a client, a trust relationship to say, yeah, we can do this in your budget, but these things have got to change slightly.
So, that's another thing that thinking as an event organizer, some of these things, they sound pretty scary to me. Somebody coming and saying, we've already sold this to the client, now you go figure out how to do it, that just has nightmare written all over it when I hear that. So how do you get that kind of relationship with clients where they know that you're capable of delivering, and then how do you, again, kind of make those changes into something that you can execute flawlessly, rather than having a situation where you overpromise and underdeliver?
Yeah, well, it's a hard one. I think, one of the things, like I said earlier, I've been doing this 18 years, and what we've done is surround ourselves with a team of people. It's not just me. It'd be wrong to say that. We've got projection people, lighting people, sound people, all within Hawthorn. So when we put forward that idea, we can know it's going to work. If it's our idea, we can go, this is what we're going to do. And these days you can drop it into a simulator like Disguise, a media server, and you can show the client, this is what we're going to do. If I'm the MD and I'm sitting here, this is what it's going to look like, this is what the cheap seats are going to look like. And there's a lot less of that, like you did years ago, rocking up and going, right, this is what it looks like. Now we can actually show people, what it's actually going to look like. And very often you can hold up the visual now, and we do it quite a lot, take up the visual, look at the job and go, well, yeah, they're the same. And
so it's kind of like the tools to demonstrate it have gotten better, but then at the same time, that expectation is now there, that they need to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. People just wouldn't, that era of just rocking up and seeing what your events
I trust you, I'll see it when I see it.
But you can build trust.
Sure.
We have a track record of delivering high quality events. If you look at our blog on the hawthorn.biz website, there's event after event after event of large scale experiential ideas that we've implemented. And the other key thing, and this is where a lot of people go wrong, is know when you're out of your depth. You have to go, and like even I do, if someone says to me, hey, I want lasers, we go, that's cool, we use the laser company who do X Factor and Strictly and all that, and I'll call up Mark and say, hey, we've got a job for you. Because we don't do lasers. The laser company do lasers really well, and that's a key skill.
I don't do lasers either, for the record.
That's cool.